revising everything? Yes, that's really nice. Okay, so today we are going to understand the type of a question which they can ask you from your activities. See, the activities now, it's like interrelating everything together. Like in chemistry, if I'll talk about, we have four chapters, but in activity, I can actually ask you all the four things in just one part or in a one question. So it's interconnecting your all the parts here. So here we are going to understand that how they are going to ask this type of a question and how to solve those questions for us to be in a better way and to us for to understand how to solve the given answer in a time limit. Okay. So are you guys ready? Should we start? Good. Now let's see. Now let me share my screen with you. Is my screen visible, guys? One, you can tell me in the chat box. Good to go. Fine. So let's start with the first activity. This activity I can basically ask you in two different formats. So I am starting. First, it can ask you in the acid-base reaction in the first chapter, that is your chemical reactions. Second, this I can ask you in the metals and non-metals. And third, I can ask you this in the acid, bases, and salt also. Let's see. So this is a simple experimental type of or activity based question which we have here. So here what they have taken, if you see in this portion, they have taken a test tube and then there is some blue solution and there are two nails which I can see here, right? So let's start with this activity. So here what I'm doing in this process. Hello, those who have joined a little late. So let's say this is my test nail A and this is my nail B here. And these are of pure iron nails. So in the question, what they have given you, point number one, A nail is covered with oil. Okay. And B is simple. Simple nail. Now, what will happen in this process? So, activities will give you A, B, C type of a question. They might come in a four where you have a questions of a paragraph reading, or you have activity based type of comprehension type, or you can have the different types of a part here. So, let's start here. So, here I can give with the A question. They both are dipped in water. So, I'm taking this as a water here currently. So, A part, what will happen to the nails in a day? Yes. Can you answer in the chat? What will happen to the nails when you have this in a day? If you take out the nails from the water, what will happen to them? This is a type of a question. Anyone? Okay. So in this case, what will happen if you see A is covered with an oil, so there is a protective layering which we have created. So in that case, A will remain as it is. A, due to protective covering, remains unaffected. And in the case of B, what will happen? B will rust. That is absolutely correct, Swayam. Is this part clear? Now let's see the same type of an example. Now what I can do with the second part here. Same, this question. Again, this is my A. First one is A, and this is my B. And A is covered with oil, or I can take grease or paint, whatever you wanted to say. Let's take a paint. I'm taking a paint here. And instead of water, now I'm having a copper sulfate solution. Now this blue is my copper sulfate solution. Now after a day, what will happen? Now this is a question. After a day, what will happen? Yes, I'm waiting for your replies. Understand, A is still covered with an oil and paint, and B is your normal nail. So what will you observe? This is the first question. Second, we can have what will be the chemical reaction here. This is an A part. What will you observe here? And B part we can have is write the chemical reaction. I can go with the C part also. C part is what is the type of reaction is occurring, or what type of reaction is occurring here. Yes. Anyone? Okay. So then the first one, what will happen as A is covered with an oil or a paint, it is protected. So it will not react with your copper sulfate solution. So in this case, what will happen? A will not react with copper sulfate solution. Shall I? Swam, correct answer. And young man XD, short form XD, correct answer. For the first one, there will be no, nothing will happen with the A. So what will happen with the B case? As iron is more reactive than copper sulfate, the reaction will occur. So you need to write in a proper way. The answer written is the presentation of your answer is very important. As iron is more reactive than copper, therefore, instead of this one, write proper therefore, reaction will occur. If you observe today, I'm writing in a better handwriting. Now, why better? Because when you start practicing and when you start writing now, your handwriting will improve after a little bit of time. And as I told earlier, my handwriting was very good, but I used to write a little bad so student can understand that with a bad handwriting also you can score well. Let's come back here. So what will be my observation? The observation which was correctly given by Swam. So you will observe that there will be a red color, not a red color, we'll write a brownish red color deposit will be there, and the solution will start turning green. So first observation I can have red brown deposit. And second, we can have a green color solution will appear. Now the second point is chemical reaction. So can you give me what is the chemical reaction which is occurring here? Okay, so the chemical reaction which is occurring here is that you have copper sulfate aqueous solution reacting with iron solid, giving you ferrous sulfate aqueous plus copper solid here. Now do write their color. So this is a blue color solution. And this will become your green color. And this is your red-brown deposit, which you have observed there. Clear? And what type of a reaction this is? This is a single displacement or displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. So now see the same question. The first question when we were taking with this activity, it actually a question of a corrosion, which is from your chemical reaction. Now when I am taking with the copper sulfate, this question actually becomes question from your metals and non-metals reaction. So with the same activity, I can ask you different type of a question relating with all the chapters. Don't think like that they will give you activity questions only from the same chapter. No, they can interrelate those activities. Is it clear? Okay. Now let's go with the next. So next we can have is, okay, this is one of my favorite question, which comes normally, which comes with the exothermic and endothermic reactions. Now see this one. You have a beaker, you have a water, and there is some compound is here. So I'm removing this compound. Let's say this compound is A. Let's start. Because A, B, C, you will find in your paper. A is there, B is there, they are reacting, they are doing this and that, and then you are feeling something. So the first type of a question which I can frame here is, let's go. When A is added, we observe heating on hand. This is the first thing. So which type of a reaction it is? So if I talk about which type of a reaction it is, so can anybody tell me which type of a reaction it is? Yes. So it will be your exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction as heat is released. Good, Weber. Let's go with the next answer. So if we ask you the second question, what is the second question I'm framing here? B part. A is a compound of a metal which is present in human bone. First thing. Now the second thing here, what we are doing. Now I'm creating a proper paragraph here. Understand how they were going to ask you a proper paragraph type of a question. So A is a compound of a metal which is present in human bones. Second point. A react with water and gives you B here. Okay, B is a compound. B react with carbon dioxide gas, give you C, which is milky appear. Find A, B, C. And write the complete reaction. Can you try this one? So in my bones, as soon as they have given you bones, it means it is a calcium. Now we need to understand what happens when calcium compound react with water to give you B, and B will react with carbon dioxide to give you C. That's very good, Swam. So I got the answer. So A is your calcium oxide. So what will happen? Calcium oxide solid will react with water, that is your liquid, to give you calcium hydroxide aqueous solution along with the heat here. And then this is your A, this is your B. And calcium hydroxide is your lime water. And we know lime water turns milky when it reacts with carbon dioxide gas. So react with carbon dioxide gas, give you calcium carbonate. Partially aqueous, right? So it is a milky appearance. Actually precipitate. That would be much more easy. Milky appeared. Your C component. Is that clear? Now see it like this now, I might not able to score well. So my advice to you is just circle them or put them in a bracket. So I'll got A, B, and C. So I don't have to write again and again. I have A, B, C, and I have a complete reaction as well. And if it is a two different questions, so do write those answers two times. I'm not writing, but you should. Now the next thing what we can have in these type of questions, let's go with the next one. One of another very, very interesting type of a questions. This one. Now they have given you, this is a China bowl or China dish. And in this case, let's say I have silver color component, which is your AgCl here. This is a white color. Okay. Now we are going with the reactions here. So what is the first reaction? What is the A type of a question which we are framing? A question. What will happen when sunlight fall on China dish? B. Write the complete reaction. And C case. What will happen if we close the window? Can you try with the first question? What will happen when sunlight falls on the China dish? Good. So in this case, what will happen when the reaction will occur here? So what will be a reaction? So they were not asking you reaction. Reaction was in the second step. So the first step, what will happen when the sunlight falls on the China dish? You will observe that white color AgCl solid will turn to gray black color. This is our observation. Don't say that it is because absolutely correct, Bhavya. Some students might get very confused that if you stand in the sun, you will tan. No, there is no tanning here. It is a decomposition reaction which is occurring and which is also called as photolytic decomposition reaction. So in this case, they were not asking you photolytic decomposition. They were just asking you what will you observe here? What will happen here? So in this case, I will just observe this portion. And if you want, if it is a proper 2-mark question, then I can write that this is a photo decomposition reaction. So the second I'll write that this is a photolytic decomposition reaction. And as in complete reaction, we can write it that we have AgCl solid in the presence of your sunlight. What will happen? It will produce Ag solid and chlorine gas. Always write the balance equation. So I'll write 2 and 2 here. With AgCl, 2 will come. And it is solid. If you write their states, that will also help a lot. Is this clear to everyone? Those who have given me the answer? Good. What will happen if we'll close the window? Third point. See, for a photolytic reaction to occur, we need to understand that sunlight is the major thing. It's like a driving force. So if I have wanted to run something, I required a petrol or a diesel like that car. So sunlight is currently that driving force for me. So if I'll close that, so reaction will stop. So what will happen? In absence of sunlight, decomposition of silver chloride will stop. Is that clear? That is the most important. But what will happen if the reaction will stop and if the reaction will not be occurring? Did you understand this part? Good. Now let's go with the next reaction. This one. Now in this case, I can ask this question with a 2 different part here. Let's say I have a crystals of A here again. Same type. A crystals, and then we have to solve one by one. So what is happening with the A or B crystals here? So in this case, your A, this is the first type I'm creating. So A will be, A is a compound, let's say. Compound of metal which is present in the blood. In the blood. Point number 1. Second thing, on heating. So A. Okay, now I have to give you a little bit more of information. So what is a more of information? That is A is green color. Compound. And on heating, what is happening? The gas are released. Along with that, okay, gas are released. So what type of a reaction it is? Can you tell me? Yes, the students in the chat box. So it is a decomposition reaction. And when you are decomposing with the presence of heat, so it is a thermal decomposition reaction. Thermal decomposition reaction. And a thermal decomposition reaction, as they have given you a green color compound, in our course, we have only one green color compound. That will be your Shailesh correct answer. So it will be your ferrous sulfate. So B, I can have their reactions. FeSO4 ferrous sulfate If you heat them, then what will happen? So if I'll heat the ferrous sulfate, I'll get first Fe2O3. That is my red brown or brown black, you can write, because that is given in the NCERT. So it will be brown black solid which you are getting along with the gases. So what are the two gases which are covering? The two gases which comes out will be your SO2 gas plus SO3 gas. Now I can make this question with the acid, bases and salts. So how I can make this question with acid, bases and salt? Let's say they are releasing a gas A and B, X and Y here, and both are acidic gases. Acidic. Add with water, you will get acid here. So let's say if you react Y with H2O, you are getting sulfuric acid. And what will happen if you take X with water? What it going to produce? Now this type of a question I can frame. So in this case, we need to understand the preparation of the sulfurous and sulfuric acid. So Y will be your SO3. So SO3 will combine with water to give you H2SO4. That is your sulfuric acid. And X will be your SO2 gas. That will combine with water to give you sulfurous acid. Is it clear? So this is also a question which I can relate with the acid, bases and salt here. Now let's go with the same type of a question. I'm taking same part here. Now instead of taking here ferrous sulfate crystals, what I'm saying, let's say we have the crystals of lead nitrate. Now you have to give me all the portions here. So what are the portion? Portion number 1, I want the reaction. Complete reaction. And B, what will be the color of the vapors coming out? Like this. Can you tell me? Or what is the type of a reaction? So it is also a thermal decomposition reaction. Yes. So what will be my complete reaction is if I'll take a lead nitrate, so in that case, and I heat it, thermal decomposition. So in the thermal decomposition, what is happening? It will give you lead oxide along with the formation of NO2 gas plus O2 gas. And this will be your brown, actually red-brown vapors. So the color of the vapors which are coming out will be red-brown. And this is also a thermal decomposition type of a reaction. Clear? Yes. Any doubt, any query, any portion which you don't understand till here? Now, similarly, we can have this reaction in the acid, bases, and salt portion. And let's say this is a reaction here. And the one more thing in the reaction, I am bringing out a candle here. So here bubbles are coming out. And this is your Y. Point number 1. Same again questions, A, B, C, D type. A, write a complete reaction in conical flask. It is conical shape, so they are calling as conical fins. Cone shape, conical fins. Go. B. What is Y formed? And when candle brought closer to it, what will you observe? Can you tell me? Yes. So complete reaction, what will happen, as they have given you in the diagram itself that you have a zinc granule and they are reacting with the dilute sulfuric acid. So because zinc is more reactive than hydrogen, so it will replace the hydrogen and give you zinc sulfate. So zinc solid react with H2SO4, aqueous solution, and give you zinc sulfate, aqueous, along with the formation of hydrogen gas. So by this, we can actually say that Y is hydrogen gas which is formed. And the second thing, what will happen if I brought a candle? Hydrogen burns with a pop sound. Is that clear? So that is a kind of an observation which we can have here. So they can ask you these type of a different questions and different part here. And one by one, we can solve these questions. Till here, anyone has any doubt or any query? Okay, let's go the next type of a question. So this is your next activity type of a question. So let's go. I haven't taken a many, not this one. Let's take this question. Now what they have taken a switch and a bulb and they are taking A and B and they are clipping up together. Now in this question, what I am doing, I'm telling you that we have to understand the metal and their properties. So here what we are doing, we are taking with the A here. A, let's say A is a metal and B is a non-metal. Any non-metal we can take it in. So what will happen if I'll club them together? This is the A part. If we plug them together. Yes. So if I'll club them together, then in that case, the bulb will not light up because non-metals are not the conductor of electricity. As non-metals are not the conductor of electricity. Now exception type of a question. That which non-metal I should take that this will become a conductor or my bulb will glow. Non-metal we should take for bulb to glow? So now this is actually our carbon-based compound chapter. So in the carbon-based compound, we have learned that graphite is one of the allotrope of a carbon, which has capacity to conduct electricity. So here we can go with that answer. Absolutely correct, Bhavya. So we have to take B should be your graphite. Graphite, which is an allotrope of carbon. Is it clear? Good. Now let's see the C part. What will happen if change A with, let's say, jute cloth? Do I able to conduct electricity if I have a jute cloth there? No, because cloth or your any other portions, they are not active solutions. They are not conductors of electricity. Now I can take a solution also here. Let's say D, I'm converting A with a pure distilled water. Distilled water. Will they able to conduct electricity? Will I able to light my bulb? Yes. Why no? No, as no free ions are present. Now, this is an activity to show the ionic nature of a salt here. So instead of A as taking as a pure distilled water, what I can do in this activity that I'm taking A and dipping in the salt. So let's say I have a solid salt here. So I'll take A and B. This is my E part. A and B both are metal, but dip in solid salt. So it's basically like this one. So I have a salt here and my A clip is this put it here and my B clip is put here. So can I light up my bulb? Yes. Will my bulb light up or not? So the answer will be no. Again, no. Because in this solid salt, you will not have free ions. No free ions to conduct electricity. Instead of that, if I take their aqueous solution. So instead of that, I have taken a water here of a salt and I'm dipping my A and B here. Then they will conduct the electricity. Aqueous solution. So because we have a free ion, and this show that you're the salts, the ionic salts which you are having, they are present, they have ions present in them as they can conduct electricity here. Is it clear? Can conduct. So bulb will glow. Why? Because we have a free ions and free forms here. Is this part clear to everyone? Now, these are the various type of questions and activities they can ask you in the first chemical reactions, and they all are interrelated with each other. Yes. Now I am going to take your doubts. Do you have any query, any portion which you don't understand while doing your practice or your previous year question papers? Because next we are going to meet when your exam is done. So today I'm free to take all your doubts, all your queries, whatever you have. Anything which you don't understand, anything you wanted me discuss. any part, any query, any portion which is not clear. Okay, so in this case, if you don't have any doubt, let's see. Few tips again. Do practice all the previous year question paper, whichever subject you are learning. At least 2 to 3 year papers do solve. Do solve the two sample papers before going. Properly write the answers, properly put the lines after the answer, keep a watch clock with you, and do solve in a proper manner. Second thing, when you are solving these questions, if you are finding anything difficult or you are not able to write properly, do ask your faculties at the given time. Point number 3, don't skip the question thinking that I can do it later or I know the answer. I don't have to waste my time in writing. Practice the writing part because in your paper you will find one paper to be very lengthy. You're able to solve the paper within the time limit. That is very important, especially the cases of your biology and your chemistry, because they are very long type of a question which they can give you. Do limit your answer, do limit your questions, do limit your portions, and uh, when you are writing, write according to the marks. If it is a 1 mark question, end up in the 2 lines. If it is a 2 mark question, go with an answer, and then if you can write example also, that will be very good. And if it is like a 4 or 5 mark question, properly write everything. If you don't know anything, write their diagrams, draw their diagrams, or write their formulas, put it in the square bracket again and again, and just solve in a better manner, in a beautification manner. And all the best for your exams. Okay. So on this note, we are ending up here. Bye, take care, and good luck. Thank you.